Today we are looking at the finally released Sora video generation tool from OpenAI and seeing how it stacks up as compared to other AI video generators. After months of waiting, OpenAI has finally released Sora. When the company announced last week that they were going to be doing 12 days of shipments, rumors immediately started swirling that Sora was going to be a part of it, and frankly, a lot of people felt like if it wasn't, there was something wrong. Well, it turns out that those rumors were correct. As yesterday, OpenAI tweeted, "Our holiday gift to you, Sora is here." They continue. Now you can generate entirely new videos from text, bring images to life, or extend, remix, or blend videos you already have. We've developed new interfaces to allow easier prompting, creative controls, and community sharing. Since previewing Sora in February, we've been building Sora Turbo, a significantly faster version of the model to put in your hands. We're releasing it today as a standalone product to Plus and Pro users. We hope this early version of Sora will help people explore new forms of creativity. We can't wait to see what you create. A couple things that I think are interesting about this. As you just heard, the model can generate videos based on text or image inputs. It can create clips up to 20 seconds long and up to 1080p in resolution. But alongside the model, they also put a lot of thought into the interface. Users can easily toggle between generated videos that are displayed on a grid or a list. I think more interesting, though, is the storyboarding mode, which allows users to arrange multiple clips into a continuous video. The model will attempt to create seamless transitions between individual clips, but users have control over the speed of cuts. Storyboard also allows frame-by-frame inputs. This is one of those interface updates that makes a huge difference in terms of how usable the model actually is from a real production standpoint. In terms of availability for Plus tier subscribers, Sora is now available with a limit of 50 videos per month at up to 480p resolution or fewer videos at 720p. Pro tier users can access higher resolutions, longer durations, and up to 500 videos per month. And if you manage to burn through all 500 videos, the model can still be accessed at a lower speed. That is, of course, assuming that you can actually sign up. As you can see when you go to Sora.com, account creation is not currently available. Altman tweeted, "We significantly underestimated demand for Sora. It's going to take a while to get everyone access, trying to figure out how to do it as fast as possible." My strong guess is that they did not underestimate demand for Sora. It's just they are constrained, and they decided that it was better to launch and then deal with this to create a sense of urgency and hype than to slow trickle people who officially had access to it. Another side note of this, Sora is not available in the EU and UK, showing once again how these countries' regulatory stances are denying their citizens access to the cutting edge. When TechAccount tweeted, "Bring it to Europe, please," Altman responded, "We want to offer our products in Europe and believe a strong Europe is important to the world. We also have to comply with regulation. I would generally expect us for new products to have delayed launches in Europe and that there may be some we just can't offer." Now, when it comes to the delay on why it took so long to get Sora, part of it seemed to be a safety consideration. For now, OpenAI seems to be going with the plan of releasing a model and fine-tuning the safety parameters as they see how people use it. They wrote, "We're introducing our video generation technology now to give society time to explore its possibilities and co-develop norms and safeguards that ensure it's used responsibly as the field advances. The model complies with the C2PA standard, which ensures that videos are identifiable as AI-generated and have watermarks. Uploads of people are limited at launch," they said, but they also said that they would become available as the company refines their deepfake mitigations. They said early feedback from artists indicate that this is a powerful creative tool that they value, but given the potential for abuse, we are not making it initially available to all users. During the live stream, Sora product lead Rohan Sahai announced that this is a pretty steep trade-off, but said, "We obviously have a pretty big target on our back as OpenAI. We want to prevent illegal activity on Sora, but we also want to balance that with creative expression. We know that it will be an ongoing challenge. We might not get it perfect on day one. We're starting a little conservative, and so if our moderation doesn't get it quite right, just give us that feedback." And indeed, some users are running into that, with Nick St. Pierre, for example, failing to generate a bear eating a salmon. But let's talk about what people are finding with this. Marques Brownlee, who is a famous product reviewer and has recently been ragging on a lot of products coming out of the AI space, although admittedly it's AI hardware, tweeted a review yesterday saying, "The rumors are true. Sora, OpenAI's video generator, is launching for the public today. I've been using it for about a week now. I've learned a lot testing this. The video has a bunch of garbled text, the telltale sign of AI-generated videos. But the cutaways, the moving text ticker, the new style shots, those were all things Sora decided to do on its own, and those news anchors looked very real. It's still a product, though, with pros and cons, and one of the cons is that physics is still hard. Without a quote-unquote understanding of the objects in the video, the model is still prone to hallucinations in the form of movements that don't make sense, and lack of object permanence." He then shared a few examples of that, where the physics of the objects in the videos just don't quite work, and that's something we'll come back to in a moment. Brownlee continues, It can be really good at landscapes. Almost any drone shot of a significant landmark could pass for stock footage or is very close to usable for an establishing shot in a documentary or low-budget film. Turns out it can do a passable job with cartoon style or stop-motion style, since the irregularities in movement and physics appear more stylistic. The other features like remixing videos or turning images into videos can be useful tools if you know what you're doing, but the most consistent finding for me was that the models don't know what direction or speed makes sense for objects in that specific picture. So sometimes it gets it right, and sometimes it gets it really wrong. To the extent there was a clear critique, it was definitely about Sora not having solved physics. Christopher Bryant showed a video of a set of birds flying in a way that really wasn't natural, to which Mr. Bizarro said, "The bird test, no model has passed it yet." Anjani Midha from A16Z writes, "Big props to the Sora team for actually shipping. The feed's full of embarrassing displays on how the model isn't a world simulator. But the torrent of human preference data OpenAI will unlock via the new interface is gold. If Google Cloud, Azure, AWS, Adobe, etc. aren't updating their urgency priors right now, they've missed the point." That idea of a world simulator or a world model is something that we explored in last week's Long Reads episode, and this is a good context to go back and see why some people think that that's going to be key for helping AI reach the next level. Victor M. writes, "Sora's videos look impressive, but physics understanding and consistency is still not there yet. This prompt was quite simple. A humanoid robot standing near the table with red, green, and blue cubes on it performs a cube stacking task with red on the bottom and blue on the top. It then shows the robot kind of doing it, but not really. And yet it's not like the physics is off always. Edwin Arbus showed a video of a prompt: a golden retriever with a shiny wet coat skillfully balances on a surfboard as it rides a gentle wave at Pacifica Beach. The dog's tongue hangs out in excitement and its eyes are focused on the horizon. The backdrop includes a wide expanse of the ocean with rolling waves and clear blue sky. And that one looks really natural. The physics are much, much closer to the real world." The other thing that you see a lot of is people comparing their results from Sora to other models, including Kling and Runway. PJ Ace, the CEO of Filmport.ai, said, "My review of Sora after paying $200, sometimes it produces something great, but you can get better results elsewhere. Kling, Minimax, and Runway have nothing to worry about in the near future." One specific thing that it pointed out was that Sora seemed to have more trouble for image to video, which is something that Marques Brownlee had pointed out as well. In terms of the status of where everything else is, Pika Labs released their latest version 1.5 back in October, and it's known for peak effects like exploding items, squishing items, and cakeify. It seems designed to be useful for social media clips right now, as opposed to a fully professional tool. Runway released Gen 3 Alpha Turbo in October. The big news at the time was that they had partnered with Lionsgate, so presumably that studio at least thinks that Runway is studio quality and useful in a professional environment. Luma Labs updated Dream Machine back in November, which has been notable for how accessible it is. There have been a lot of examples of it being used for fashion, marketing, and filmmaking. And finally, there's Kling, a Chinese model whose latest version was released in September and was for many people mind-blowing. And so that's where we stand. It's been less than 24 hours with a very small number of people having access, so it's hard to know so far how it really compares. What's for sure is that video generation in 2025 is going to be radically more accessible and much more used than it was this year, and there are going to be some pretty big implications of that. Later in the week, I'll come back and explore some business use cases for Sora. For now, though, that is going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief. Appreciate you listening or watching, as always, and until next time, peace